understanding
Mm,
ahead of time as early as possible what to do to protect yourself from alienation. What are the red flags that a parent is doing it? What to look for in your child? To
yeah.
be like, I need to pay attention to this. How to start strategically communicating, to document, you
Hmm.
know, last week, you kept the kids for 2 days of my parenting time. I asked you like, and then to say, I'm sure we can both agree how important it is to follow our
I
agreement.
I think this is such an important area because that preventative side could have an enormous impact. And I'm guessing that the people who would come along to you on being there got out for advice about a high conflict divorce might not even really be that aware of some of the consequences. They
Right.
might be very focused on the domestic violence and less focused on what's happening with the alienation. And again, unaware of the subtleties of all that grooming, the pre-alienation going on in beforehand, and then suddenly it hits them. And
Mm-hmm.
and most people go into like shock and denial when they hit alienation. But exactly as you're saying, getting ahead of the curve, starting to think, oh, is that happening to me? Could that happen to me? You know, that can make an enormous difference.
It's interesting you say that because people do find us because of the legal abuse stuff, because we don't
Yeah.
have anything about alienation on our little, tagline. But as we introduce ourselves to new people during like a discovery Zoom meeting or something,
Hmm.
I'll give a little bit about each of our backgrounds, and I'll say we're working on our latest book right now, as well as a course on what to do when your ex is turning the kids against you, and you see in their faces like, oh, that's me, that's my
Hmm.
problem, like
Mm.
all the time. I feel like it's every other call, at least, where
Wow.
someone's like, that's already
And
happening. I see it, and we're like, we're going to jump on that.
yeah, and again, the big problem is that this is something that none of us are aware of typically because
Mhm.
we know that we're taught at school and there are movies and there's stuff about murder and theft and psychological abuse, that sort of stuff. We see that quite frequently. We don't see anything about parental alienation.
No,
Yeah, I think in the
no.
States alone, it's something like 22 million people
Yeah.
that are affected. And it's a gargantuan number. I'm not quite sure the global number, but it's like 6 to 8% of the whole population
Yep.
in most of the countries in the Western world. And I'm sure
Everyone I
even
talk to,
elsewhere as well.
every party I talk to, every time I'm at a party, and someone's talking to me and I mention what I do, they're like, oh my gosh, yes. Like it's either
Yeah.
me or someone I know, someone I love, like constantly.